This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
We know Republicans to be liars and charlatans and grifters and phonies. But it's always nice when something happens that just cements it as fact. When their reverence for their grifter-in-chief, charlatan-in-chief, liar-in-chief, autocrat-in-chief, fascist-in-chief says the quiet part out loud, and it is crickets from the peanut gallery. This happened this weekend. Donald Trump came out and in no uncertain terms advocated for suspending the Constitution, throwing out the founding documents that these liars with their pocket constitutions swear to venerate. That they place their hand on the Bible and raise their right hand to God and swear an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But they're liars. They don't care about any of that, because when Donald Trump this weekend took to Truth Social and said this, they were nowhere to be found. I found clips of two Republicans on the Sunday shows who didn't have a crossword to say about Donald Trump. When pressed directly about condemning it, they didn't. When asked, are you going to support Donald Trump if he is the nominee in 2024? The man who just said, let's throw out the Constitution. Oh, I can't do it. I'm too afraid of Donald Trump, y'all. Weak. Here's Donald Trump's Truth Social. So, with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception in working closely with big tech companies, capitalized for some reason, the DNC and the Democrat Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election 2+ years later? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders, in quotes with a capital F for some reason, did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections, capitalized for some reason. Donald Trump is calling for the rules not to count, the sacred rules that are contained in the Constitution of the United States, a document he swore his sacred oath to defend and protect against all enemies. Until, that's not for me. And you would think Republicans like Ted Cruz, who every third word is Constitution, 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 Constitution. You would think he would be there. You would think Rand Paul, libertarian extraordinaire, Constitution, Constitution, would be there to condemn. But no, they were nowhere to be found. Dave Joyce, the congressman for Ohio's 14th district, was on ABC's This Week yesterday. And in a remarkable moment, being pressed about this particular statement by Donald Trump, he is too much of a coward, of a simping, just sucking at the teats of Donald Trump sycophant to condemn this. Instead, he's like, well, he's not going to be able to do that, so who cares that he said it? Watch this.
The economy is stable and they have the jobs to be able to live and take care of their family.
Donald Trump was your nominee in 2016 and 2020. You voted for him in 2016 and 2020. Now he's talking about suspending the Constitution. Can you support a candidate in 2024 who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, it's early. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the primary. I think at the end of the day, you will say whoever the Republicans end up pick, I'll fall in behind because that's...
Even if it's Donald Trump and he's called for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, I think it's going to be a big field. I don't think Donald Trump's going to clear out the field like he did in 2016.
But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, if he's the nominee, will you support him?
I will support whoever the Republican nominee is. And I just don't think that at this point he'll be able to get there because I think there's a lot of other good quality candidates out there.
It's a remarkable statement. You'd support a candidate who's come out for suspending the Constitution?
Well, you know, he says a lot of things. You have to take him in context. And right now, I have to worry about making sure as a Republican governance group and the Republican majority that we make things work for American people. And I can't be really chasing every one of these crazy statements that come out from any of these candidates at the moment.
But that's an extraordinary statement. You can't come out against someone who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, first off, he has no ability to suspend the Constitution. Secondly...
But he says he's for it.
Well, you know, he says a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that it's ever going to happen. So you got to accept exact fact from fantasy. And fantasy is that we're going to suspend the Constitution and go backwards. We're moving forward, and we're going to continue to move forward as a Republican majority and as a Republican conference.
I don't see how you can move forward if your candidate is for suspending the Constitution, but thank you for your time this morning.
It is the easiest question of all the questions that have ever been questioned. Will you support the candidate in 2024 if it's Donald Trump after he called for the suspending of the United States Constitution? It's easy. And instead, he's, why? I don't think he's going to be the nominee. Not my question. Not my question, Dave Joyce. My question was, can you support a candidate in 2024 who calls for the suspension of the Constitution? Well, first of all, he has no ability to do that. Now, that wasn't the question, guy. The document you claim to venerate, you claim to worship, you claim to adore, you've sworn oath to protect. Not important. Dave Joyce, coward. Sycophant. More concerningly is Mike Turner from Ohio's 10th congressional district on CBS's Face the Nation yesterday. The incoming House Chairman of the Intelligence Committee, a powerful, to be sure, position. And he's pressed about this particular Truth Social post. And watch him try to squirm and move and dodge and duck and weave, rather than just fulfill his oath to the Constitution. Watch this.
That we all take.
So yesterday, the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, the standard bearer for your party, posted on Truth Social, and we know he lost the 2020 election, but continues to claim he did not. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Should the standard bearer for the Republican Party, the frontrunner for the nomination for the presidency for your party in 2024, say this?
Well, I first of all, I vehemently disagree with the statement that Trump has made. Trump has made, 1,000 statements in which I disagree. There is a political process that has to go forward before anybody
Constitutional conservatives are pretty clear about where they value the Constitution.
Right, exactly. But
is there any scenario with suspending the Constitution?
Listen, you do get to pick the questions, but I do get to pick my answer.
I know. I'm trying to get you to answer the question I'm asking.
There is a political process that has to go forward before anybody's a front runner or anybody is a even the candidate for the party. And
Do you
I
condemn
think
him
that,
saying
and I
something
believe,
like this?
absolutely, and I believe, answering your question, that people certainly are going to take into consideration a statement like this as they evaluate a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the question was, should the standard bearer for the GOP, for the Republican Party, say this? The answer is no. The answer is no. There's no debate about it unless you don't care about the rule of law. Remember, Donald Trump claimed boldly, "I'm the law and order president." His answer, Mike Turner, Ohio's 10th congressional district and the incoming intelligence chairman of the House of Representatives, people are certainly going to take into consideration a statement like this when considering a candidate. Not the question. Not the question. Now, these are more ancillary figures in politics. The bold mouthpieces like Ted Cruz are cowering under their desks, sucking their thumb apparently, for fear that Donald Trump will dispatch his insurrectionist mob against them. Where are the Josh Hawleys of the world? These brave, bold patriots. I just say it like it is. I call it like I see it. Where are they? They're such cowards that they are fearful of Donald Trump. It's a good day for me. It's a good day because the mask is off. No longer can they claim to revere the document of the Constitution. They cannot say that anymore. They can't make their arguments about putting the boot on the neck of the American people via the Supreme Court of the United States through oppression and voter suppression and stripping away of liberties and abortion rights and gay rights. They can't do that anymore using the Constitution because they don't give a shit about the Constitution. So shut your mouth, Ted Cruz. Zip it, Rand Paul. Close your hole, Kevin McCarthy, you silent wonder. Because when your golden god, the dear leader Donald Trump, wants to toss out the Constitution, again, crickets. What do you feel about this? Are you as fired up about it as I am? And I am. It's a good day that we can finally dispense with their lies. Finally. No argument can be made. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Mix it up in the comments. We can disagree agreeably if that's your thing. Follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Dollemore and all of those. And if you appreciate what I do, if my ranting and raving and screaming and yelling and passion is your style, please consider supporting my work right here on the platform. Click the join button below. Don't click any video below. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month, or click on over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today and every day that you do. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.